Hello, this is Abby. I'm laughing because of the pressure. What am I going to say? I don't know. Okay, let's let out a breath. More and more, I feel like relief that my mind doesn't need to take decisions anymore in my life. I mean, it tries to interfere there, but more and more it's like, you don't know what you're talking about. Shut up. And it's relief. I lived previously with such anxiety around taking decisions. So much anxiety. And self-doubt. Was it the right decision? Was it the wrong decision? Should I have done that? Because it could have gone that way and there could have, the doubtful head that doesn't stop having doubts makes it very stressful to try to make decisions. And it's such a relief to not have to let go of the pressure of having to even try to make a mental decision. It's more and more obvious that my mind really doesn't have that capacity. I mean, it does in a really distorted and confusing way. So yes, it can, live like the way I used to live. Taking a decision, hemming and hawing and hemming and hawing and hemming and hawing and all, and then taking a decision and doubting it if it was the right one, and stressing and anxiety. And so yes, my mind can make decisions. Yes, it can. It just sucks at it. And of course it didn't want to let go of that seeming control that it had on my life, and it still doesn't really want to let go of control. But actually my mind sees now that there's an elegance to the way that my body navigates life. There's an ease, there's an elegance, there's a non-stressful calm, just this is it. It's just this way of taking decisions that allows my mind to just go, okay, then I'll mentor masturbate about something else. But, because it's not going to stop. But I remember years ago, being so lost about decision making, and having my own business and having people working for me made it even more stressful, because my decisions weren't just about me. It was about the people working with and for me. It was about the people that were taking classes and clients at our school, students. And it was just, I felt so overwhelmed the majority of the time. And so anxiety attacks and yeah, anxiety attacks were quite common. I remember a friend of mine at the time trying to help me with figuring out how to make a decision. Now, this is an interesting little aside, but also related, is that when our mind is trying to make decisions, usually, not always, but usually it's going to seek help from outside. It's looking outside for the answer, because the mind really is interested in what's out there, right? And so, I was always looking to someone else to help me. How do I make the decision? Is this right? Is this wrong? What do you think? Is this good for me? Is this good for them? And as if somebody else knew better than me, how to navigate life, my life, right? So there's just a distortion when I feel when we're looking outside. I see that now. When we look outside to try to find an answer to a decision that's about our life, and we're looking to someone else to be any part of that decision making. How the heck do they know? How? And anyway, but then it's the funny thing of this person, she was so supportive. She's tribal, so it makes sense. She was so supportive, trying to help me, but an emotional manifesting generator. I mean, that's a different life. So any way that she would look at things is completely different from a classic non-energetic projector life. Doesn't make any sense. One thing is just completely different from another. And she has the channel of what's the name? Acceptance, 1762. So very organized, like, kind of more of a planning way of organizing things and looking at the hierarchy of things and this and that and putting things in their place. And the channel of community, so planning around what's correct for all the tribe and negotiating that, and and she's a 3420, so it's like, let's try to make this happen most efficiently. I mean, all the things, right? And she told me, one of the things she told me, she sent me a book at one point. I don't think I even read it, but then one of the things she told me was, make the list of pros and cons. Now, we're talking about this being that has a right mind and a right brain. This friend, left mind, left brain, strategic, focused, yes, can strategically list things, is a lister, list this, list that. Me, I didn't even know where to start. I remember trying it out. It was like, it just looked like a big mess, basically. And I didn't feel it helped me, because I could put as much on the pros as I could on the cons. And then my doubting head, my gate 63 and my open head would just ask questions and questions and more questions. So there was no end to the mental rabbit hole, even with, the strategic way she gave me. So, oh my goodness, so much stress and anxiety around decision making that I have had all of my life. Starting from being pressured to take decisions about things that really actually, hindsight is, they didn't have anything to do with me. Because it was taking this shape and trying to fit it into, a round, same size cookie cutter hole. So I need to make a decision about a cookie cutter thing, but I'm not a cookie cutter. I'm an individual. And so it's all, I can see now how all of that is so pernas para o ar, turned upside down, as they say in Portuguese. It's just upside down way of trying to take decisions based on somebody else who has nothing to do with your life. Truly, based on someone else who has a completely way of looking at life, based on somebody else helping you who is strategic and you're not, trying to strategize decisions when you have no strategic capacity, trying to take mental decisions with an open head that can ask question after question after question, and an open mind that never has certainty, but definitely is gotta be certain about it, and then stuck in anxiety, but I'm actually not certain about it, but then bears down and becomes rigid because I got to be certain about it. I mean, it's a mess. And now that in the last years I've reconnected with my body consciousness, inner authority, as you say in human design, my body consciousness, for me it's a spleen, but I will be honest, I personally experience it not through the splenic keynotes that are given. I experience it through inner vision, which is my brain's cognition, and that is how I experience my body conscious and inner authority, and that is what navigates. And so I know when like a kind of a decision comes up, do this, don't do this, move, or like whatever it is, part of me is like, starts to go through the mental rabbit hole that I get lost in. And then all of a sudden it's like, you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to do that anymore. Hooray. You just need to wait and wait and see. Wait and see, you know. Sometimes it's like that. A lot of times, because I am spontaneous and splenic, but a lot of times what I see is that it's wait. So it's a spontaneous wait, if you will. A lot of times it's wait. Wait until that thing is closer, until it's more in the now. Then it's real. And then there's navigation that can happen about it. And this just happens constantly. Like, you know, recently it was also about, you know, also maybe needing to talk to somebody, or, you know, what should I do about that situation with that person? And inside was this relief of like, I don't have to know. I don't have to know. I don't have to figure it out. I don't have to mental masturbate about it. I can just wait and see. I can wait until I see that person and listen to what comes out of my mouth. You know, if I can let my mind take a step back and watch, then there's innate intelligence in this form to navigate life, to navigate decisions, to navigate communication, to navigate whatever it is, you know. More and more, I'm finding more and more places where navigation, decision making is relevant, I guess is the word. You know, we think about it for the big things, jobs, friends, romantic partner, where to live, all that stuff. Well, the way I experience it is that navigation is the body moving in space second by second, moment by moment. And so that is really watching the body get up when it wants to get up, move when it wants to move, take care of, you know, clean the house when it cleans the house, cook when it cooks, eat when it eats, eat what it wants to eat, when it wants to eat it, you know, all the things. And being able to take your mind out of it is, for me, well, it was a fight, and I still have my battle places, of course, but it's also the biggest relief ever. And of course, my doubting mind sometimes goes into this human design thing, because there are parts of human design that I'm not sure what I really think about it. But when it comes to my experience of my design, and also, you know, when I see the design of people that I'm interacting with, who have allowed me to see their design, like it's so alive. It's just alive. It just you see it in action, right? And so yeah, I do have moments of like, oh, you're insane. Look, whatever you're doing, because my life is like, what the hell is happening or not happening? You know, this life does not look at all like what it used to. It doesn't look at all like what most of the people around me, their lives doesn't look at all like that. It doesn't look at all like what people around me kind of expect my life to look like. Nothing. It just sometimes it's like, what am I doing? What's happening? But then on the flip side, I can't go back. I can't go back to trying desperately to figure things out with my mind. I can't go back there. It's like that default, you know, distortion, you know, it's kind of taken away. It's gone. It's not gone. It's just that it's not it's not really available to me like it was before. You know, going into that insanity is less and less available. Thank goodness. So then I'm left with what? Well, just continuing to let the body live its life, whatever that means, however long that is, whatever that's going to look like, and my mind being scared about it and doubting about it, and yet also incapable of taking any kind of decision anyway. So the body gets to do it. The body gets to decide. And it is, wow, it is an anxiety relief. It really is. Because I can see myself going into anxiety about some things, some situations, the fact that, I mean, yeah, there's some big ones that my mind goes into. And then something in me can just go, well, you can't do anything about it, so we just gotta wait. Wait. And yeah, I don't have to try this thing. I don't have to try. It's so good. So I don't know if that's something that you can relate to, whoever you are that's listening. But that is what I'm finding out more and more. Is just, especially in this world that is so, I don't know, mad. It's mad. I mean, if I was still at the place where I was relying on my mind to decide where to go, what to do, how to live, I think I would be a basket case, really. I don't know. I mean, but I look and see, and it's a confusing world. Like the kind of the things that you felt you could really rely on as being true or as being evident or present or supportive. Yeah, it's really not like it was. It's not like it was when I was younger, for sure. I mean, I sound really old, but I mean, it's quite different. And since 2020, it's more and more confusing, more and more, yeah, uncomfortable. I can't relate to so much of what I see globally, I guess, and also even just with personal contacts, and I see their lives. I think I just can't relate so much more and more. I can't relate. I don't know. I wouldn't know how to navigate this with my mind. I wouldn't know. I mean, if I didn't know before, like now. So there's gratitude there that I get to witness an amazing, magical intelligence that is in this body, in this form, and that just easefully, efficiently, elegantly just does its thing with no drama. I mean, this creates some drama, but there's no drama. There's no explanation. My mind likes to try to find the explanation of why I'm doing that and not doing that. It's mostly why I'm not doing. What I don't do. It's more of not doing than doing. Why this isn't happening, why that isn't happening, why blah blah dee gada gada, my mind tries to find an explanation for it, but honestly it doesn't know, because I don't have, there's no explanation that's given. There's just a no movement or there's movement. And that is it. No reason, no rhyme, no explanation, just an, I don't know, this is what's happening. And that feels a lot like the nature of life. Yeah.